It's called the Shark Genius. It is their Steam Pocket Mop. What they mean by that is that Charlie Brown squiggle you see on the pad, which by the way helps to scrub, is a big two-sided pad with a hollowness in between. So it literally is a pocket. That's the steam blaster that takes anything that's sticky, like the cranberry sauce that you're gonna drop on the kitchen floor next week at Thanksgiving. It comes with a triangular head that gets into corners easily. When one side of this head is dirty, you just flip it over and you've got a brand new clean side to work with. And then when they get both sides dirty, what you're gonna do is take it, pop it off, easy to do, I'll show you how, and you're gonna put it in your washing machine and then in your dryer and reuse it over and over and over again. Dozens and dozens of times. Just saving you the money from the disposable pads that you buy at the grocery store will be enough to pay you back for our Black Friday sale price of this machine for less than $90. Our comparable retail value on this is $139 and change. Now, I still have colors available. When we first brought it to QVC, we had 1 or 2 colors. Now I've got a few different ones. The one that you're seeing is Nordic blue, but I have a brighter blue, but I've got less than 230 of that bright blue that are available. I've got a Bordeaux, which is kind of like a maroon. Is that fair? I do still have green. There's about 500 left in the green. I still have white, which surprised me. And I have red. There's about 350 in the red. Now, another good buddy of mine, her name is Elizabeth Watts. She's our Shark representative. She has been for years. She made a video a little while back that'll make it much easier for me to pinpoint why this is a tremendous way to clean your floors. So let's take a look.
Let me show you just how easy it is to use the Shark Genius Steam Mop right here in my bathroom. You just use tap water, so anytime if you see the water levels getting low, you can just open and refill it. It's not under pressure. Plus, you have intelligent steam control, so after it heats up for 30 seconds, then you select between low, medium, and high speed. Look at all that steam. The mop head completely fills with steam, so you don't get a lot of drips on your floor. Plus, the Dirt Grip pad safely scrubs all your sealed hard surfaces. Look at this, it's double-sided, so you're getting twice the cleaning area. You can use it to clean and sanitize inside your walk-in shower, too. And when it comes to sticky or dried-on messes like the sunscreen, the built-in steam blaster allows you to target a blast of steam right where you need it. It breaks down that mess, and then the pad absorbs all that sticky dirt and the moisture. The steam mop is safe on all your sealed hard floors. Just look at how it makes my hardwood shine. And I like that it doesn't leave a dulling chemical residue. And I don't even have to touch this dirty pad. I just push the button right here, and the pad drops off. And you can easily switch pads with our touch-free technology. Well, there you have it. The Shark Genius Steam Mop makes it super easy to clean and sanitize all your sealed hard floors.
Can I tell you a secret about that lady? I know she's listening right now. I know she's listening. You know, people on TV tend to be happy and exuberant and that wonderful smile. Well, that is Elizabeth Watts. That is her in real life. That is her every day. I think she wakes up happy without coffee. I don't understand that, but I love her for it. And she is with us via Skype, broadcasting live from her home. Elizabeth, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, Dan. Oh my goodness, you just made my day. That's so sweet. I do wake up pretty happy. I do drink coffee in the morning, but I have to be careful. I have 1 cup because if I had 2, I think I'd be like bouncing off the wall. So
I can see you going into a cleaning frenzy with too much coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't even take coffee. I go, yeah, anytime. But I love your introduction here because you and I both use steam in our homes every day. I love this because whether you have hardwood floors, linoleum, tile, marble, like you mentioned, any sealed hard floor surface, this is safe on, and you're sanitizing while you clean. So you can see, first of all the powerful steam that is just billowing out of this mop. It is a mop, so it's kind of the design we're used to. Like, you know, look at this little piece of dirty floor here. If you had this in your mudroom or in your kitchen, you'd probably get maybe the mop and bucket or one of those little push pads, right, that you have to buy the little chemical pads for.
Right.
Instead, what if we just could use tap water? And you can see this is a pretty serious stain, right? It's really down into the grooves of my linoleum. But with just a few passes, look at how much of that dirt, what is all over the pad. So that's where it goes. It goes into the pad. You don't have to mix up the hot water in the bucket like you said our moms used to do, for sure. You don't have to buy expensive pads and chemicals and cleaners. It's all within the water and the superheated steam. And by the way, with just 3 passes, which I did way more than 3 there, I'm sanitizing and killing 99.9% of things like staphylococcus and other household bacteria, things that we want to get rid of in our homes. But if you're like me and you, Dan, I know, I don't want to introduce more chemicals into the house.
Yep.
This is a great way to do it.
Let me focus in on the pad for just a second, because this is part of the brilliance of it. First of all, this pad is 2.5 times the size of that yellow sponge mop pad that we all knew and grew up with. Each one of these little fibers are like the head of a dandelion. And the dirt first gets picked up by the very tip, but then it gets sucked down to the bottom of the pad. So even though that pad looked pretty dirty, it still has a long way to go before you have to pop it in the washing machine and clean it. The regular mop, the first time it hits the floor and then goes into the dirty water, you're spreading dirt around. And because this is a 2-sided pad, you're getting twice the cleaning. So we use some pretty marked demonstrations when we're showing it here on TV, but one pad can clean hundreds of square feet of flooring before you have to clean it. You then also have the triangular pad, which is great for corners and around the commode. You even get the little, little fill cup. This technology, by the way, let's say you've got a mansion with thousands of square feet of nothing but marble. It used to be that these were pressurized steamers. They had boilers in them. And you could clean for about 15 minutes, and then by golly, you had to let this thing sit and cool down because it was highly under pressure. Not anymore. What the folks at Shark have done is created a Genius system that allows you to refill if you need to while you're on the go. So if you've got that mansion, congratulations. I don't. But now you've got the ability to just keep going until the cleaning's done. And I'll tell you what, if you hate to mop, like I love to vacuum, hate to mop. Does that sound weird? You really won't mind mopping at all because you can get it done in about half the time.
And it's so fast. It heats up in 30 seconds. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's like quicker to do this than to grab and put together a mop and bucket. And I love the description of the pad here. I want to keep going with the same, what looks like to be filthy pad, because you're right, Dan. Once you get this going, it does kind of pull that dirt to the middle. It seems a little bit odd, but it does. But also I have a second side that's totally clean. So another thing about this that I love is that you have your speed selection here. So you can choose low speed if you just want to maybe steam dust your hardwood floors. You can choose regular mopping, which a lot of times I use here. That's how you do it. So that blinking means you're hot, ready to go. Low speed for your hardwood floors if you just want to do a quick dusting. That's kind of your regular cleaning, or if you got a lot of messes like me, you can power it up to the high speed. Now, right down here, too, I want to show you the little red steam blaster. So that's just kind of your action point. You just point that where you want. You pull the head back. I'm not pushing a button or anything, Dan. And all of a sudden, that steam now is powering out. I'm able to just loosen up. This is milk. Whatever kind of sticky messes there might be. Here's some syrup from the breakfast pancakes this morning. And you can really see it there. Wow. It really powers through. And it just starts, you see how that syrup starts to move? It's that, that powerful heat from the steam just allows it to break right up. Oh, Dan, it's kind of facing the wrong way, but.
Oh, look at that. Thank you.
Message from Jill this morning.
Thank you, Jill.
And then, okay. Yeah. So all that's on the one side, right? Okay, that's pretty gross. But check it out. I'm just going to flip it over. Now, I don't usually use it this way, but I've seen some of the hosts do it, so I'm going to try it. You can pull it back using the steam blaster. Ooh, that works pretty well. So like scuff, that's a real tough mess, right? So you use the steam. Oh my gosh, I love that. To break up those scuff marks and then just pick up the rest of the residue. So you can use it just like this, back and forth, steam blaster. Oh, a little bit of spilled wine from last night's post-show party at my house. There's always a glass of wine after the show. And just to show how absorbent, that was some soda. So now we picked up, my gosh, dirt, soda, milk, what else? Syrup,
Yeah.
wine,
So,
skip marks. Okay.
so that pad's looking a little beat. By the way, it's still not done.
Yeah.
Because it's, I hate to put it this, but it's like a diaper. What it does is it takes the liquid and it pulls it away.
Right.
So that the top is still clean. But I don't know that I would want to touch that with my hands like I have to with the disposables where you peel it away. So watch this. It's actually my favorite feature on the Genius Mop.
So right here, what Dan's talking about is there's a little release. In fact, it says right on it, pad release. So you just squeeze that down, watch the pad,
Boop.
It releases itself. So yes, I didn't have to touch any of that yuck. And to put on the new pad, how easy is this? You just line up the four little tabs and then click, click. That's it. Now my new pad is in place.
Elizabeth?
And because you get 2 of these.
Did you have to turn the machine off to do that?
I did. I would recommend turning it off because otherwise you're billowing all that steam out. You wouldn't want to get it in your face or anything. So turn it off just with the little button, replace your pad, and now it's still hot. So I can immediately turn this back on and keep going.
Yeah.
Easy.
Here's the story on my end. I've got more colors than I ever remember and a better price than I've ever been able to offer. This is normally a $139 item, which I still think is reasonable. $140 to get your floors sanitized and clean faster than ever before. My wife and I just remodeled our main bathroom and put new tile in. And I'll tell you what, I wanted to make sure that we had something that was going to make sure that those floors look good for a long time. This particular color is called the Nordic Blue, and that has been the most popular at this particular point. I also have red, but in the red there's about 350 that are remaining. Elizabeth, that's all we've got. I was surprised that the white was still in inventory because that's usually the most popular. We've got green, there's about 500 of those. There's a Bordeaux, and then we've got a really bright blue. And the blue is the most limited. There's, what, about 200 or so that are available. Let's explain, well, let's do this, Elizabeth. We'll go to the animation because it's called the Steam Pocket for a reason.
Right.
No one else has this technology.
Yeah, it's really special because instead of just one little dribble of steam in the middle that might drip and it doesn't work that well, the entire pocket is filled with this superheated steam. It actually is sanitizing itself as you mop the floor, which is pretty cool. And we give you the blaster. So think for, around the bottom of the toilet, those areas in the kitchen where it just gets kind of sticky around the edges. And then, of course, the pad, we've been bragging on our pads. They really are special. They have the fingers that grip the dirt. And actually, Dan, I have one here. I mean, I know you showed a close-up, but I'll show you this triangle one. I'm going to put this one on next and show how you use this one. What's cool about this, again, as you mentioned, 2 different textures here, a little bit extra scrubby on the gray, but it's all safe for your sealed hard floors of any sort. This one, I like this. It has a little extra scrub at the back. So this is a scratch, proof scrubber, but it's just a little bit extra. So mud rooms, around the cat litter box, or any place where you need a little extra scrub. So let me give you a little tour here, and then I'll show you how to change that out. So a couple of neat things. Actually, I'm going to come up to the top.
And
I
that's
love
my
the
fault.
circular.
I didn't notice it before. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just continuing on, Dan. I love the circular handle because now, when you flip it over, however you're holding it, it's ergonomic, it's padded. It has the quick release for the cord. So when you're, ready to take the cord off, I like that. Again, the pad release down here. To release the pad, you squeeze it right there instead of touching the pad. Now on the front, here's the cool thing, as Dan was showing you, look at how clear, this is clear. I can actually see my water level. And Dan, when I started with Shark 21 years ago now, we had those pressurized steam cleaners.
Oh, yeah.
And right? And not only were they a little bit scary, but you had to wait. You had to wait for it to cool down.
It was like
10 minutes
cooking
or
with
more.
grandmom's pressure cooker in the kitchen with spaghetti sauce on the ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is so much easier. You refill it at any time. Okay, I just refilled it there. And then if you want to swap out the different floor attachments, because you get 2, your big triangle one here, there's a little button right here, a little gray button. So just depress that there and it slides right off. Now, Dan, again, on this one, definitely make sure that your steamer is turned off, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have steam powering out of there. So power it down. You can swap out the handle just that easy. Again, it clicks in. Love that. So it's nice and secure. And then from here, all you have to do is plug in your long